There's Pipez. Look at that old photo of himself.
So I'm busy making my baby Nazar. No.
That's what I was doing. So such a freaking fun thing.
Dude, it's super cool. I actually so I figured out how to do it on Chat GPT and I've got like the picture. I'll send it over to you and I'm gonna actually upload it. I showed Angie last night yours and I'm like, that's Nazar. She's like, oh, that's so cool. So which is super, super fun. So it's sort of fun what's going on with AI right now, guys. There's like it really is moving. I'm sure you guys have noticed it. It's just Nazar. It's moving so fast, man. You know, like especially and on the video editing component of it right now. Like I was literally like just 10 minutes ago with one of my team members. He's like, "Hey, can we use this service because what it's going to do? It's going to take long form content. It's going to determine what's the best portions of it, and Bob could reduce it down into short term form, like 30-minute reels. So I mean, it's bananas. What's going on? It just and you know what, Alicia? It does it makes it so we don't need to like have all these outsourced people that we're talking to. We have the intelligence of AI, and for all of us, Ryan, it just makes it very simple to put content out. You know what I mean? And I did so, guys. I've really been digging deep. I know today we're talking CEO stuff, and I want to talk numbers with you, like because numbers are the language of business. You know what I mean? I really want you guys to understand that. If Ryan, what is up, dude? Good to see you, brother. So Angie and I were talking. She goes, you can never break up with me because Ryan will kill you. So is what she said. She's like, so I'm in this for the long run, but I really want to dig in today, talk probably about 5-7 minutes with you guys about what's happening with the market, right? Because clearly projections that we had are not happening, right? We had been really leaning into, and myself and a couple of key individuals leaning into that we were going to see a rebound, we were going to see a bounce sometime in July, right? And that we had like a 95% chance, Ryan, of like a rate drop, right, in July. I want to give you guys some data. I want to give you some expectation, a little bit of strategy of what I think you guys need to be doing. Then we'll continue that CEO conversation. Is that cool, guys? Because I would be remiss not to really address the elephant in the room, which is what in the hell is happening with the market right now. Because I think nationally, what I've actually seen, Andy, is just this pause. Right, like we're. I'm not sure. Have you guys felt that where it's like going gangbusters, and then all of a sudden, like, dude, who moved my cheese? Right, like sort of that moment. You guys feeling that? Yeah. So, and obviously, I think so much of that has to do with economic sentiment and then also the rates as well too. You know what I mean? Yesterday, you may want to write this down. We broke an 18-week trend, which was, Alicia, that 18-week trend is we were below 7% for 18 weeks. Yesterday, we popped up to 7.08. 7.08, right? Okay. And if I look at the expectation now of what could potentially happen, just so you guys know, no, don't kill me. Don't just the messenger. It could go higher, right? In fact, I would expect it to go a little bit higher as well too, and that's Kristen for a number of reasons. Number one, and I just want to give you data right now, right? Since you guys like have an understanding for yourself, you can choose to use this with clients if you want to or not. Why is it that that rates have popped up? It's because the 10-year, the Treasury looks really unappealing to investors, to international investors, because Bob, we just got like for the first time in the history of the US, we went from a triple A rating on our bonds down to an A1 rating, right? Across the board of all three of the credit reporting agencies. What that means is we are not as appealing as an investment because of our debt load that we ultimately have from outside investors. And so therefore, it's having an impact on mortgage-backed securities, having an impact on the buying of the 10-year treasury, and ultimately causing rates to go up. Does that make sense, guys? Like, so it's just people don't want to, they're not wanting to invest in the US investments right now, or they're selling them off, and it's making it a little bit more problematic, a little bit more challenging. Will that change? Yeah. Now, a couple other data sets for you guys as well too, and I don't want to like get too deep in this. Why is this happening? Well, Doge was supposed to actually do, I think it was like $3 trillion worth of debt that they actually analyze, or cuts that they could make. They were only able to make 10% of that at this point. Like they made 10% of the cuts, and that's it. Like, and you guys saw Musk pretty much, Emily said, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go back to Tesla and do my shit. And like do that. So we didn't quite see the massive recoup of cost a Doge did. And then you got this big, beautiful bill that is being called, which is probably not going to go through. So there's just a lot of uncertainty that's going on, and the markets are responding to that. That's all that it is. And then we got the tariffs as well too. So could it be a different sentiment in July? Possibly, you know what I mean? But I think what's happened is we've probably, and this is what I want you guys to understand for you, we have kicked the can down the road. I would guess by 6 months. And I want you to write that down. That like we moved from 4 rate cut expectation to 2, maybe 1 this year over the course of 30 days. Yeah. Yeah. Hard cough. Right? So what does that mean like to us? Like if I'm a CEO, okay? If I'm a CEO and we're talking about CEO of the business, it means that the strategy, because what is my job as the CEO? It's to really run oversight on strategy, vision, mission, and value, and what I want to do. Our strategy has to change a little bit for the next 90 days to 6 months. Okay. And specific. Now, let me pause really quick because I do want to answer any questions that you guys have. Nizar, I'll send over to you the raw interview that I did with Pavan and with David Parwa, who are the higher ups of SunWest Mortgage Company. And they really unpack this for you guys. Would you guys like that? Like, so that you, and honestly, it's more of a real estate slanted one. So the combination of them and Logan Motoshami, and I'm going to do that once a month for you guys. Okay. So once a month, I'm interviewing those guys just so, and they can give you insight. Any questions that you guys have on this? Nope. So if you look at the numbers, we were at 6.7, we're at 7.1 right now. So we're really a 40 basis point drop or increase, excuse me. I'm so used to like talking drops that to talk increase is sort of counter for me. It means we probably lost about 2 million to 3 million buyers. When I say lost, it means they're out of the market, right? They're pausing right now. And Zillow, Justin has actually, I was talking to Zillow, their lead flow is down dramatically right now as well too. So you just don't have a lot of people coming into the market. You don't have a lot of activity that's taking place. So what does that mean for us, right? What do we need to do? What are the moves that we need to have? Well, and I haven't completely codified this, so I'm going to sort of free flow with you guys a little bit. What I'm noticing is this. Write down number 1, it's a doubling in the amount of conversations to have with a lead to move them forward, hard cough. It's if it took me, Bob, 4 dialogues, 5 dialogues with a lead to move them forward, I now need to have an appropriate expectation that I'm probably gonna have to have 8, 9, or 10 conversations before I can move them forward, because it just takes more convincing, more education in the face of that uncertainty. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. And Alicia, that's even, sister, if you're like doing every dialogue that you can and every conversation that you have and everything that you can do and emailing and text messaging and sending out the data, it's just going to take a little bit longer, right, for them to be able to make up their mind. Why is that, do you think, guys? Why do you think that is? Someone unmute themselves and yeah, Rochelle.
Well, I think people are just waiting to see when to jump in. They're not quite sure. So just waiting for some event, some whatever it is that's going to make them move forward.
Something that now remember, people move forward in the face of fear, right, or uncertainty based upon time, right? Based upon time and education. Does that make? I would write that down. It's like a really important point for you guys to understand that if yes. Where did Rochelle go? There she is. Rochelle, it's one of those things where time will eventually do its work, right? And they'll move forward. The challenge with time, Anne, is during that time, if I can't move them forward, if I can't get an appointment with them, right, then I'm opening up myself to have somebody else swoop in as well too, right? Whether they go on some other site or some other agent, or they get referred, Andy, based upon someone that they know, right? So I really want to do my best to truncate that, the longer time period that they have before they make a decision. Now, listen, the decision, Rochelle, may not be to buy, but the decision may be to work with me. Does that make sense? Like I may not get them to decide to be able to actually buy a house, but I can get them to decide that I'm the agent to be able to actually represent them. So number one is recognize it's going to take double the amount of time. Number two is this. I would be pushing for as many appointments with buyers, no matter what their time frame is. I like if they're a year out, 6 months out, 8 months out, I don't really care, Ryan H. I know we got Ryan M. I'm gonna if I say RH, that's heart cough. If I say R, no RH.
There's Ryan 1 and Ryan 2.
Oh, okay, good. We got R1, R2. I won't even go there. That reminds me of the Cat in the Hat, like thing one, thing two. So like I'm not sure which, but so check this out. Why do I want to get that appointment with them as soon as possible, even if they're further out? Well, because 57% of buyers are going to interview one agent, according to NAR, and they're going to go with the first agent that they interview. So, Alicia, if they're 8 months out, but I still get that appointment with them and I can build value around why it is that we need to meet right now, I'm playing the game of odds at that point, right? Where I'm insulating myself that I got a 57% chance that I'm going to secure that consumer to work with me. Can you guys see the value of that, right? So, how do I do that? And this is something I've been really diligent and pushing on right now in relationship to appointments, right? Okay. Write down this word, time. Time. Nazar, this was a big aha for me. I said, wow, when I'm asking someone to set an appointment with me is for them to give up time, to disrupt their schedule, to spend time with me. Isn't that what an appointment is? Because think about it. Like if you're going to set an appointment with somebody, is it going to or if they're going to set an appointment with you, it's going to disrupt their life a little bit, is it not? They're going to have to move things around. They're going to need to make adjustments, right? They may need to make sure the kids are taken care of. Whatever it is, it's a disruption and it's a commitment that they're saying, I'm going to give up my greatest asset, which is my time, to meet with you. Why would they do that? Well, okay. So write down like an appointment is a commitment of time. And the only reason they're going to commit to time is if they see value. If there's enough value in the request or in the appointment, in that meeting, then I can I go, okay, cool. I'm going to ask my significant other to be able to adjust their schedule. I'm going to adjust my schedule because I see more value in meeting than if I just were to do my normal day. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? So
I've seen people that like will try to ask for an appointment, but are not clear on what the objective is and what the goal is for the homeowner or the buyer.
You got it.
They get rejected.
That's right. 100%, dude.
They're like, oh, and then they'll make an excuse. But if you are very clear with what they're going to get from that appointment, right? Because then there's the time value of money as well.
That's right. Yeah. Because dude, check it out. Time is money. But also, if I can position that appointment to, they're going to walk away with a benefit, whether they're moving forward to buy or not right now, right? Okay. Or moving forward to sell or not. I do it with sellers as well too, by the way, just so that you guys know. Like I'd be going out on preliminary seller appointments as well too, to be able to get in front of them. Then they'll make that decision. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do right now. I'd like you to write down, like, even for the longer term leads, short-term leads, longer-term leads, buy, sell, like particularly buyers right now is what I'm talking to you guys about, because I know that that's a predominant portion of most people's business right now. I'd like you to write down, like, just brain dump, what is the benefit to that consumer to meeting with you in a buyer consultation? What is the benefit to them? What are they going to get? Whether they choose to buy now or not, how are they going to walk away? How is it worth their time? That 30 minutes, that 45 minutes of the meeting, potentially even, like another 30 minutes to an hour of commute time. Why would I give up 2 hours of my freaking life to meet with an agent? So take a moment really quick and just write it down, right? And once you've got like your 3 or 4, keep going, keep brain dumping, keep writing. And I'll talk in the background. Like when you legitimately believe when you believe that there's value, it comes across in your conversation as well too. Your certainty, your authenticity, your enthusiasm, your commitment, your authority, and your voice, all of that shines through. They'll follow that. They'll follow that energy. Okay, cool. Andy, what'd you write down, brother?
So for me, it's extremely simple. It's like you want to be meeting with a local expert, somebody who has their finger on the pulse of this market. And we have strategies that we've used for multiple different buyers, some of them in your exact position, where everybody's scared to death. Everybody's reading all these crazy headlines, but everybody is also in a different place. So maybe this strategy for you is let's target homes that have been on the market 160, 200 days, and let's have a contractor come through, give us a bid. We get it for 100 less than list because the seller has to sell because they're contingent to buying something out of state. Let's get a plan together where we're sending you stuff that's not wasting your time. You don't want us to send you stuff, that's at list or overpriced and waste your time, right? Or it's a reverse question. Good. And I always take the stuff from Chris Voss. It's like, I want all the no's, you know what I mean? So yeah. I try to frame it in a way where it's like, wow, as soon as they leave, it's like, that's the guy. Like he knows exactly what's going on. And he has ways to solve that I didn't even think about, or it's like, have you looked at an ARM, right? 15 years, like we can refinance out of that in 15 years. 100%. There's a couple different options.
There's opportunity to buy down, etc. ADC, dude, I have freaking missed you. It is so just freaking lights me up to see you, dude. Like it has been way, way, way too long, dude. You know how much I fucking love you, man. So
agreed, brother. Likewise.
Yeah, great to see you. So ADC, what he said was, watch, education. You're going to walk out of this appointment because you're going to be more educated. If you're more educated, you have more certainty, you feel more confident. He wrote down, we're going to actually come up, Michael, with a specific strategy that's based upon what it is that you need so that when it does become time, you're able to move forward as aggressively as you want to, knowing that you're doing the right things. Ultimately, when we do that, we can save you money because we can bring in a contractor to be able to actually get us a lower price. Like, do you see, like, if I'm Bob, if I'm building and what that means is we're going to save you time as well, too, because you're not going to waste time looking at properties that are going to be coming your way that aren't going to fit the criteria that you want. So you're going to educate me. This appointment is going to give me and build out a specific strategy, ultimately meaning that I could save money and get a lower cost basis on the home. And it's going to save me time and frustration. Shit. Would you give up an hour of your time for that, guys? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Versus, why don't we get together for a strategy session so I can help you get what you want and the time you want? Won't that be great? Now, that is my script, by the way, so I'm making fun of myself. But if you have not built value around what's going to take place on there, they won't say yes. They won't say yes. Anyone else want to jump in on that? Yeah, Ryan, I'm going to go Ryan 1.
Of course, it's Ryan number 1. So funny story. I was with some buyers the other day, and buyers when they're first going out, they're asking a majillion questions, and I'm just rapid firing them off. I have answers for everything, and she was like, "You are literally the Chat GPT of real estate." I said, "Make yourself the person that they go to versus Chat GPT."
Thank you. Yes. Do you know? R1, the reason people go to Zillow is because for all that information is because their agents suck. And so they end up going to Zillow because they're searching information. And if the agent, Bob, was doing his or her job, they wouldn't rely upon Zillow or they wouldn't rely upon chat, right? So that's the key. And Alicia, that's why I have you guys really by the way, right now, so, obviously, number one, we recognize we're going to have to over-index on the amount and the volume of communication that we're having. Number two, we're going to have to top grade the conversations, to be able to build value around what it is that we're saying, to be able to get them to say yes to meet with us, so we can play the game of 57% probability that they're going to work with us as well too. Number 3 is this: you have to really educate yourself these next 90 days to 6 months. It is so necessary that you absolutely have this knowledge base where you are able to rattle off, hey, Fed futures have shifted from 90% chance of a rate cut to 26% chance of a rate cut. Fed futures are the projection of what's going to be taking place, at the next Fed meeting. That means we're probably not going to see this huge. And if you're working with sellers, awesome. That means I can have that conversation with the seller, that they know that there's going to be fewer buyers, so I can price it a little bit more competitively. The more knowledge you have, the more confidence it builds in them. Okay. Yeah. ADC, please, bro.
And tell them the truth. Like, that's going to help you. It's going to help everybody not waste time. If they're sitting down with 2 or 3 agents and they're hearing the same thing from everybody else, and then you basically tell them exactly what their gut is feeling, telling them the truth gains you a lot of credibility very quickly. And then you basically leave the meeting with, right now might not be the time. It might be best for you and your family to wait 6 months because you are locked in like, it's a long play, just like with investing, the longer way. Same thing with sellers. I've walked away from 3 listings because I was like, look, right now, if you want to hit this number, this is not the market. I can do it. I can list it. But I'm just letting you know what the outcome is going to be. I don't want to waste your time or mine. And telling them the truth, again, it doesn't waste anybody's time, and you build credibility quickly because you don't look slimy, because you are telling them the truth based on data and facts, not just what they're seeing in the headlines.
Absolutely 100. And you know what? I've had this happen when I was selling ADC, where that person, I had that exact conversation based upon your motivation and the reality of this market and the price that you need to get. That's not the time. Could be in 6 months, could be in a year, but here's what I would recommend. You stay where, it was legit a conversation. You know what happened? They said, thank you. I really appreciate that. You're one of the first people that's actually been willing to say that. Guess what happened? 3 weeks later, R1, here comes a referral from those individuals, right? So I may lose that deal, but I'm going to gain it back because authenticity, integrity, we're not known for that as an industry, by the way. Do you realize that? Like, real estate agents are not known for that. And so if you show that, you're going to stand out from the competition. But watch this, guys. If you're not doing your 15 minutes of studying Altos research, Keeping Current Matters, Housing Wire, okay, the Zellman report. By the way, Nazar, I pay for the Zellman report, the Z report. I'll send it over to you so you can get it out to the crew, right? Because it's sort of pricey. But if you're not digging into that, you have no freaking powder for your cannon. All right, you're going to be left to give your opinion, and your opinion sucks when in the eyes of a consumer, of a buyer and a seller. But when you're studying that, it really positions you as the expert, as the authority, right? And you can feel confident in the direction that you're directing them as well too. Okay, so that's number 3. So number 1 is I'm just going to have to increase the volume of follow-up that I'm doing with my existing leads. Number 2, I'm going to have to improve the quality of the conversation. And number 3 is I'm going to need to over-index on the education that I'm doing as well too. Here's number 4 for me, okay, in terms of the face of this market. And I think we're going to eat up this entire call. We won't get a chance to do the CEO piece. We'll circle back around on that on the next call. But I really wanted to actually go here with you guys because it's right now in front of the tire of the bike on the path that we're on right now. Here's number 4, okay? I have to actually stick to a very strong personal psychology plan. Like right now, Chuck, it is gonna because it's going to take more prospecting and more calls, because it's going to take more effort and volume in terms of my follow-up, because the conversations are going to drain me of energy, because it takes more energy to have that quality and caliber of conversation. I have to do more heavy lifting. I got to be doing everything I can to keep this shit straight. Does that make sense? Like everything I can, whether it's my meditation, my workout. Guys, I am right now, I've never been more intense than I am right now in my entire career. Why? Because the market demands it of me. to be able to be that and who it is that I need to be for you, right? So you can be that for them. And because of that, I'm like running more than I've ever run. I'm working out. I'm diligent on my listening to. By the way, I gave this to the entire crew that was actually in Playa del Carmen. Download the app Pep Talk. Pep Talk. PEPTALK. It's rad, guys. Curated, video created, like of all these wonderful like personal growth and development individuals, from David Goggins to Mel Robbins to Hermosi, and the list just goes on. Simon Sinek, like it's all in one video that's like 5 to 7 minutes. I watch that every morning. Some of them I'll rewatch again. I'm just like, oh, let's go, right? Like it's like I'm like ready to freaking warrior it up. But whatever your personal psychology routine is, and if you don't have one, Nazar, I'll resend out to you guys the 1800 process, the 1800 challenge, which is work out for 10 minutes a day, listen to something that motivates and inspires you, i.e. pep talk for 10 minutes a day or something else. Number 3 is do your affirmations, whatever that is, right? Like literally like reaffirming, selling yourself on you, do your meditation, write down your gratitudes and read. Like you do that, you're gonna be able to insulate yourself from the bullshit that's going to be bombarding us for the next 90 days to 6 months, and the personal doubt that you will have because of the fact that you got to do more than you've ever done before. You know what I mean? So now next call, I'm going to talk about looking at the numbers. Okay. Like now, when I say the numbers, CEOs, great CEOs are diligent at looking at the numbers. I remember now I have a report that's sent to me every single day. I remember Tom, when I was working with TF, right? Like every day there was a sales report. He was looking at KPIs. CEOs do that. And I want to talk to you guys about the numbers that you need to be actually looking at on a daily and a weekly basis to be able to make sure you're able to make, and you're insightful enough to make the appropriate moves in your business during these next 6 months. Now, I will say one last thing. I don't want this all to be doom and gloom. Steel sharp and steel, baby. You know what I mean? So, ADC, I look back and I'm like, I got an idea. I'm going to start a coaching company on the beginning of the biggest decline in the real estate industry that we've seen in 35 years. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? So like, woo. And I'll tell you on our end, it's like a 4-to-1 ratio right now. It's taking 4 times as much marketing dollars, energy, calls to be able to get one coaching client as it did a couple of years ago, right? And I'm okay with that. Why? Because here's what I know. If I can build in this moment, when the market shifts and turns, and it will, guys, like we're 2 years into this downturn. Do you guys recognize that? Like we're like at the 2-year mark of 2023 when it really hit in the springtime. We're at 2025. We've got probably a couple, like 6 more months of this, and that's just a normal market trend. Does that make sense, guys? We're just going through normal market trends, and we haven't had the downturn, and we're getting it right now. But when 2 things. If you can build the disciplines, the skills, the systems, and the processes, the mindset right now in this somewhat problematic market, call it a normal market, right? Like it feels problematic, but it really is just a normal market. If you can do that when it shifts and turns, dude, there's going to be less competition and you're going to be like weathered. Does that make sense? You're going to be weathered, right? You're going to be like that piece of leather that looks super sexy because you've made it through all of the, like the hardcore shit. All right. That's number 1, still sharp and still. But here's the other piece as well, too. There's 3 things I want to say to you. Number 2, competition is on their heels right now, guys. Do you realize that? The competition is on their heels. Like they're rocking back. The agents that are in your marketplace, they don't have this. They don't have this conversation. They're lucky if they have even one person that they can turn to. You guys should actually like look at Nazar and say, thank you for carrying this torch. Would you guys do that for me with Nazar? Because he is, right? Like give some props and some love, dude. Because he is he's doing it. He's really doing it. So like continue to lean into this. By the way, every single one of you has access. I'm not sure if Nazar has sent it out to you, but Nazar, work with Jasmine. You guys have access to our morning huddle that we do for G3. It's at 7 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Mountain, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Like it's a great plug-in because there's like I'm going scripts, dialogue. Sometimes it's role play, sometimes it's general motivation, etc. But the more you can plug into communities like this, me, etc. Tom, I don't give a shit. Like literally, guys, I don't care who the F it is. Just plug in. You know what I mean? Like, like just plug in, because now is the time that we need that. We need that community to be able to push us forward. And here's the third thing I want you to think about. Number 3 is this: the longer that we're in this downward trend, and my buddy who runs a really big mortgage company said this, the longer we're in this downtrend, the bigger the rebound's going to be. The longer it's that hose. You guys remember that as kids? Like, any of you guys remember, like, I'm going to date remember when we were kids and we actually used to go outside and play? Remember that? Like, and you take the hose, and the hose was like a fun thing. Now it's like phones and all that other shit. Like, you would like hold the hose and you'd cinch it and you'd wait for it to build up, and then you'd open it and just spray your friends or whoever, right? Okay. That's what's going to happen with this market. All that you got to do, get small, get disciplined, stay freaking and like warrior this shit up, right? And when it bounces, right, you're going to be positioned to really take advantage of it, because the competition is going to be lagging 30, 60, 90 days after you at that point. Okay. So that's my coaching for you guys today. All right. So I hope you got some value out of it. That's what I'm doing with all my coaching clients. That's what I'm pushing you guys towards as well too. We'll go CEO conversation. I'll actually share my dashboard that I use for my company, and the numbers and the KPIs, so you can sort of see what it is that we look at and what it is that you guys need to be looking at in your own businesses as a solo entrepreneur inside the space of real estate. Okay. So any questions, my friends? Questions, comments, concerns?
The comment that I have is, first of all, thank you, Bill, for talking through this. I think it's important for us to all just know where we're at and not freak out about the market and just kind of plow through it. I was talking to Matt Bray. I don't know if he's on here right now, but I was talking and sharing with him Property Radar. I think this is a website that a lot of you guys may have used in the past. You've been around the block. It used to be called Foreclosure Radar back in the day. It changed to Property Radar. It's like $100, or I forgot the exact cost. It's not super expensive to have. And what's amazing about the website is it gives you all the people that have filed for divorce, all the people that are in notice of default and notice of trustee sale. It tells you what tax liens are on the property. It gives you information on people that have filed for bankruptcy. It gives you all this data, and then it gives you non-owner occupieds, their phone numbers, their email addresses. Like, it has such rich data, and it really works for any state that's out there. And the cool thing is that, like, remember, right now the opportunistic buyers and sellers are not around. No one's going to give up that 3% interest rate to get a 7% interest rate unless they have to. And so right now, stop spending money and energy and time just blanketing marketing to everybody, because a lot of people are like, hey, I'm going to huddle down and just hold tight and see what happens.
Yep.
The people that are sticking their head out are the people that have to. The have to sellers, the have to buyers, the have to investors. And so this is at least just one tool that some of you guys can use. And there's like a free trial if you wanted to at least, mess around with it, where you can go on there and you can say, let me see what, expired or not expired, but non-owner occupieds, the have to sellers that are out there, and go talk to them, make your message to them, because those are the people that are going to be transacting in this uncertain market that we're in today.
Totally, man. Death, divorce, kids moving out, all that other. Yeah, it's so funny, Nazar. I'm in that position right now. Like, I literally am in that position. I've got a serious relationship with someone. It looks like it's going someplace. My son he's at college. He's going to stay in Arizona to actually get his residency down there. I'm like, yes, save dad $20,000 a year. It makes me really happy. Right. And I'm in a position, dude, where I'm like, I want to sell my house, but you know what? I'm waiting. I'm that, because why? I don't have to, you know what I mean? So, like, just yet, but there's, like, where I divorced, oh, let's get rid of the house, you know what I mean? Or something else along those lines. That's just where we are. Will it change? Yes. But right now it's like this: get small, right? We're like in Vietnam, and all of a sudden here comes the enemy and the napalm's going off all around us. And we're like, get small and stick to the fundamentals. Does that make sense, guys? Stick to the fundamentals. You never can go wrong with it. And it's not that bad. The napalm is.
Story. I was born in Lebanon, for those that don't know. And when I was born in 1978, there's bombs going off everywhere. I mean, Lebanon's always been a very, crazy country with lots of stuff going on. My mom was the only one in the hospital because she was giving birth to me.
She had no choice, right?
She had no choice, right? Like, she had to go. And so, like, it's the have to people now. Think of that when you're every single day, when you're prospecting, who are the have to people?
And
Because
then
if-
does our put your attention on them, right? Prospect to find them, market to find them. That's the group right now. The rates will shift and change, and we'll get down into the fives eventually again, the low sixes, the high fives. And then all of a sudden the want tos will come back in. But right now, the model is find the have tos. All right, guys. You know, I love you. I appreciate you. Love this company.
Thank you.
Guys, have an amazing 2 weeks. I'll see you on the next call. Okay.
Thank you.
Peace, guys.